Welcome Biotic Foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for listening. I appreciate if you are one of the weekly listeners that listens to the podcast every Tuesday. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. And not just because I appreciate you listening to me. Here's the real reason I appreciate it. It's because the more knowledge you get, the more understanding you get, the more you can help yourself and the more you can help others. And I think we're in a day and age when people are so sick and struggling with so many different things and they don't understand it and they don't know what's happening. And knowledge and information, I believe, is one of the greatest things that you can have in your life, because once you have that knowledge and information and once your body responds to something that you're doing, then you're free. Then you have an actual remedy that will work for you because you understand what's happening and why it's happening. And knowledge and information are so important in this day and age when so many things are hitting us and we're bombarded with all kinds of ailments and things that are happening around us. And the more you can have understanding about that, the more you'll help yourself, the more you'll help others. And so once again, I want to thank you for listening. And I hope this helps you because it's made all the difference in my life. So today we're going to talk about having an acid stomach or problems with your gut that bring acid up into your throat and cause burning and heartburn and all of these inflammations that really can bother you all day long. And, you know, it kind of came on me after we decided to move. We were in the process of moving. It was like 2017, the early 2017. And it has been a very stressful year for me. And we were moving across the country to be near, to Southern California to be near our children who had moved there prior. And it wasn't easy moving from Kansas City to California. I'll tell you that right now. That was brutal. And I was under a lot of stress. I was under a lot of pressure to, move. And I was also going through menopause and things like that. And I was doing all right until I loaded myself down with all this extra stress. And combined with the stress of selling our house and trying to find a place to live, I suddenly started having problems with whenever I drank coffee or ate acidic foods like tomatoes, lemons, or oranges. I started having, my gut started to bother me with I felt it was too acidy. It was coming up my throat. And I knew that these symptoms are warning signs. They're not the enemy. They're the warning signs that something's out of balance. And we did purchase a house here that had an orchard of citrus trees. So I was pretty upset when I couldn't eat them without having burning and digestion problems. And I didn't know what was going on, but I kind of wanted to see why my body was sending me these signals and what was out of balance. And I really wanted to know that because anytime something happens to me and I find a remedy, it really is exciting to me that I can share it with you. And our bodies are virtual chemical factories, and they have this complex system of checks and balances. So when something gets out of whack, we'll get a message, we'll get a symptom. And your body just sends you this symptom, which mine was acid, reflux. And since I never had that problem before, I was surprised that I was getting it. And I was going to have to give up coffee and tomato dishes and other acidic foods. And I was like, I'm going to find the answer to this because there's something going on in my body. This isn't just happening out of the blue. And so I started to look and try to understand what was happening. Now, one of the first things that fixed my problem, and it happened, when people say they have indigestion, heartburn, or acid stomach, this often can come from having a low stomach acid. And it's confusing to people because you think you have too much acid. But what was happening was I was having low stomach acid. And then you get heartburn, bloating, indigestion. And you need to have enough hydrochloric acid or stomach acid to properly digest your food. It's also important for immune health because, now this is really interesting. Whenever you eat something, let's say you've gotten something bad that you've eaten, some bad bacteria or something from some food, those stomach acids are designed to kill those bacteria. It's why probiotic supplements don't work very well because probiotic supplements are often killed by the stomach acid, whereas probiotic foods are kind of speeded through the body, and they have this protective halo around them because they're in the contents of food, so they don't get destroyed. They get to the parts of the body that are needed. But you need that acid in your stomach for immune health. And if you don't have enough of it, you can't properly digest your food. And then you become vitamin and mineral deficient if you don't digest your food properly. So it's something you should pay attention to if you're having problems with, a stomach that feels like it's acidic. And when a person starts to eat, the stomach is stimulated to start producing hydrochloric acid. And this hydrochloric acid activates the chief cells in the middle portion of your stomach to start secreting a protein digesting enzyme known as pepsinogen. Pepsinogen needs hydrochloric acid in order to begin to digest all these different foods that come into the body. And, it kills bacteria, parasites, and viruses that enter with the food that you eat. And so all of this starts to happen when you're digesting something. So you need that in order to really digest protein efficiently. And if you're having problems, even though it feels like your stomach is producing too much acid, actually, it could be that the reverse is true. So you need more acid. So what causes low hydrochloric acid? Stress, which was happening to me. Hydrochloric acid can be greatly inhibited by stress, emotions, or worry. And high amounts of stress will exhaust the body of hydrochloric acid, and that production will diminish, which I believe was happening to me. The other thing that's really important is zinc deficiency. And I was very deficient in zinc, and I discovered that. I'm going to show you how you can do an easy test to discover what your zinc level is. Zinc is so important. It helps the thyroid run properly. And copper and zinc they work together. They keep each other in balance. So if you have too much copper, but you have enough zinc, it won't let the copper get out of control, and vice versa. And it's really important to have those minerals in your body to keep each other in balance. The other thing that could be happening is B vitamin deficiency, and that's very, very common because stress depletes B vitamins quickly and rapidly, and that can be another one. The other element is age. As you get older, stomach acid production it tends to decrease greatly, and so because you're getting older, you don't have as many minerals in your body if you're not getting them from the foods you eat, which is a big problem nowadays because a lot of our soils are depleted of minerals. And so then you get mineral deficiencies, and then you don't have your zinc and your B vitamins and all different kinds of things that your body needs. The other thing is eating a nutritionally deficient diet of processed fats and fast foods, and especially sugar. I have seen this time and time again. If you're eating foods that are highly processed or, sugar or a lot of carbohydrates, this can greatly deplete the minerals in your body, and also will create a lot of imbalance in your gut, which is going to cause you to have some problems with your digestion. Sugar is the biggest culprit, but there's a lot of other culprits too, and it's interesting because a lot of the foods we eat, we do it because we want convenience, because we're tired and we want something fast and we want to do it quickly. But often when you go out to eat, they use unhealthy oils, and unhealthy oils are really hard on you. Things they cook the foods in. Most everybody uses vegetable oils, and they're so bad for you. And what happens is they make up the cells of your body, whereas, carbohydrates are hard on you too, but they don't actually make up your cells. And some of these oils that you get, like, for instance, if you go out to eat and they'll use, and canola oil, which is really bad for you because it's basically like what they use to strip furniture with. It's not very good. And everybody uses it. Any kind of vegetable oil like cottonseed oil, soybean oil, all of those are really harmful to your body because they're not natural to their body. They go rancid easily. They're not very stable. And then they start making up the cells of your body. And that it's hard to get rid of them. So I really encourage you if you're struggling with this, to eat at home, cook your own food, put your own fats, and eat your own healthy, balanced foods, a lot of healthy greens, salads. Just have a salad every day. That really, guys, that makes such a difference. One salad a day, or even taking spinach and putting it in your smoothie or some greens into your smoothie along with some fruit is going to make a huge difference in reducing inflammation and helping to balance your gut, because it's going to feed your microbiome in a very, very powerful way. And I've seen a lot of studies done, and people that just have, a salad, or they put greens in their smoothie, or they have some kind of greens every day, reduces the inflammation in their body by a third. It's huge. And they tested this. They test their C-reactive proteins and see where they are, the levels in their body, and it greatly reduces it. And it's so surprising to me. And I've seen this in my own life. If I start having an acidic stomach, I know that I'm not eating enough greens. That's important for me. And if you don't like them, then put them in a smoothie with, a banana and some kefir, and it makes all the difference in the world. And you get your greens for the day. The other problem that people do is they overuse antacids. Now, let me talk to you about this. This is really, really bad, because what happens when you have antacids, when you take them on a regular basis, you're killing a lot of your gut bacteria. You're creating a huge imbalance in your body. And though it temporarily relieves the acid, over time you're going to have more problems. You're going to have to take those more and more and more and more, because your body's getting more depleted. You're going to have more problems with low stomach acid, and it's just a vicious cycle. So I really encourage you to try not to use them. There's other remedies that have really helped me that are natural remedies that help your body stay in balance so you're not addicted, because basically it's like a drug. So it's not good for you. So, okay, so what do you do? One of the first things was the zinc deficiency that I noticed I had. Zinc is one of the most important minerals in the production of hydrochloric acid. And if you don't have enough minerals, and especially zinc, then your stomach will not make the proper amount of hydrochloric acid. When I was juicing a lot, I was doing a lot of juicing, I found I got too much copper in my diet and not enough zinc. And those, like I said before, copper and zinc balance each other out. And when you have too much of one and not of the other, that's when you get into problems. And, like I said before, zinc helps run your thyroid. It's important to get enough. And if you do mostly a plant-based diet, kefir has zinc in it. And so, but most of the time you get zinc in things like meat, eggs, shellfish, nuts, legumes, and whole grains. And you need that. And if you don't get that, you're going to need to supplement it, because it's really important that you have enough. It's one of the reasons that I still keep fish and meat in my diet, because I really, really struggled when I took those out. I couldn't keep my zinc levels high enough, even though I supplemented, because my body, it got very hard on my thyroid. My thyroid got very low because I didn't have enough zinc in my diet. So I am a huge proponent of eating a lot of plants. I think it is so important. But I also needed some of those, especially things like fish that had higher amounts of zinc in them. They really helped me balance. Everybody's different. Everybody does different things. But that's what I do, because I really needed those to keep my thyroid running, and to keep my, a lot of my problems came from doing too much juicing and having too low of zinc levels in my life. Plus, if you have too much copper, which you get a lot of copper in plants, which isn't bad as long as you have the zinc to balance it, it makes you very tired. And that's one thing. It can cause a lot of emotional brain problems. So let's put it that way. Or you become unstable because you're not getting the B12 and you're not getting the zinc that you need that helps keep your body in balance. Kefir has a lot of zinc in it, and so does those other foods that I mentioned. But you should be getting minerals from your food. But, with these soils, the way that they've been, overly farmed, sometimes the minerals are just depleted from our soil. So it's important sometimes to supplement. I have an Ancient Earth Minerals. I love it. It's from Bodycology. And actually, I think that they have an ocean plant, and they have the one that's just the earth minerals. And I really like the earth minerals. They're the ones, I take them all the time. And especially when anytime I have any kind of acidicness. You guys, I took a couple capsules of those and it will get rid of it. And it doesn't take very long. And I always know that I'm out of balance, that something in my diet is out of balance. So that always helps keep me in check. But I love those ancient earth minerals, and I can give you a link for those. They're wonderful. They have everything you need. Something interesting, my husband takes them too because if he works outside, so he sweats a lot, and this helps him. They said it works better than Gatorade for him because Gatorade is horrible. It's got all kinds of dyes and colors and things in it that you don't need. But as long as he takes these minerals, he doesn't get dehydration symptoms like cramping, and it keeps him really in balance. So they're great. And you can get minerals at your health food store too. You don't have to buy these. I just like these, but they're everywhere. You can buy minerals anywhere, and they're great for you. And actually having good salt in your diet, like for instance, Celtic sea salt or Himalayan, it has 80 different minerals in it. So if you just do that one thing, changing your salt to one that is mineral rich, that's going to help your body tremendously. And it's just an easy way to help get more minerals in your diet. I have an easy way to test your zinc levels. And I think it's really cool the way that it works. And you take liquid zinc, which is basically zinc. And I have a link for it. I just got it off of Amazon, and I heard that it worked really well, and I was really surprised how well it worked. And it's basically just zinc. So you take a spoonful of this liquid, hold it in your mouth for a few seconds, and it will reveal if you're low in zinc or not. If it tastes like metal, then your zinc levels are most likely good. But if it tastes like water, then you're very low in zinc. And when I first took that, I didn't taste anything. It just tasted like water. And it was interesting because my youngest daughter could taste the metal, and I couldn't taste it. My husband couldn't taste it, and my oldest daughter couldn't taste it. And then I just took a spoonful every day of that liquid zinc. And within a week or two, it started tasting like metal. My zinc levels were starting to come up. And then I upped my kefir because that had more zinc, and I started taking the ancient earth minerals. And in about a week or so, I could have coffee and lemons and oranges and all manner of tomatoes, and all the acidic foods that were bothering me all didn't bother me anymore as soon as my levels came up. And I really didn't want to live without coffee. I love coffee. It's one of my greatest joys in the morning. I have these little rituals about how I make coffee. And the reason I love coffee so much is because there are microscopic fibers in coffee. And when I have it, I can really tell a difference in it helps to feed your microbiome. And research in Germany found that the microbes that are they're tiny, you can't even see them, they're microscopic. The ones that are in the coffee, as these microbes grow, they cover the intestinal walls, they keep out harmful pathogens from colonizing, and they also lower the gut's pH to an acidity level that causes most germs to die. And so these soluble coffee fibers are food for bacteria, and they make beneficial bacteria, and you can experience a 60% increase in growth of the good bacteria. And the soluble fibers, which are also prebiotic fibers, which feed the bacteria, help improve insulin sensitivity, help you absorb more calcium. They convert some of the plant fibers into vitamin A for you, which is very hard to do sometimes. And you'll also have a 65% decrease in Alzheimer's risk and much more. And there's a lot of studies on this. So I'm going to give you my article. And check the description below. I'm going to give you the link to the stuff to buy to test for zinc deficiencies. I'll give you the link to the ancient earth minerals. Just to check the description below. I'll give you my article. So if you want to, instead of listening to this, you want to read it, you can read the article too. So it'll help you. And so I love coffee. I think it has so many benefits. And only when my gut was out of balance did I struggle with it. And now I can have it again. And I'm glad because I can tell a difference when I have coffee. It really does it gives me a sense of fullness. It helps I can tell that it helps my blood sugar stay stable. It does a lot of things for me. And so I was thankful that I had this problem with an acidic, problem that was coming up my throat, and I wasn't feeling well because it really helped me to balance my diet and my gut microbes and my mineral levels, which I never had thought about before. And there's so many health benefits to citrus. We need lots of vitamin C to help our adrenals and immune system running strong. And something really interesting happened when we bought our home here and we had some citrus trees. One of the things I found was that anybody in my family or anybody who had problems with allergies, if they ate the fruit off of my tree, the allergies would go away. It seemed to inoculate them because the pollen that's on all the trees was bothering them. But when they ate the fruit off the trees, the allergies went away. And I see that in myself too. It has so many benefits, and it seems to be the very thing causing the problem can fix the problem. And that's really exciting to me. I love that there's remedies in the food we eat that they can work like medicine for our bodies. Citrus can load you with vitamin C. They have antioxidants, vitamin A. They help your mucous membranes control infections and phlegm. And combine this with probiotics. Put it in your kefir. They'll combine with the bacteria that's in kefir and go after pathogens and keep your immune system levels really high. And if you want to know more about that, check out my article, and I'm going to put this in the link below, about how sugar can drop your immune system by 75% and how important vitamin C is for you. One other product that I want to mention that has helped me so much throughout my whole life, and it's interesting, when I moved and I started having problems with an acid stomach, I had quit taking this. And this is kind of one of my, I really consider it a vitamin, even though it's just a whole food supplement. It's just something that I've taken, oh my gosh, for years. And I have seen so many, many, many benefits from it. And that is liver tabs. I have a really good one that I take that I love. It makes it does so many things for me. It helps my nails be strong. It helps my energy stay high. It helps with reducing any kind of inflammation or allergies. And when I didn't take it, I developed these problems because I had just run out, and I was looking for a newer brand because I think the one I was taking, they discontinued it or something. And wow, what a difference it has made. It has helped with so many things in my life that everybody in my house has taken this for years. And basically, it's important to understand how this works, because liver tabs, which is basically just liver from a very pasture-grazed, grass-fed animal that's hormone-free, pesticide-free, and GMO-free, it's just basically a superfood. And it's loaded with huge amounts of vitamin A, lots of B12, CoQ10, folate, all kinds of different iron, vitamin D, K, E, and all kinds of usable amounts of zinc and chromium and even copper. And it is so powerful. And I have used it for years because it works, and I've given it to my kids. I don't know how many years, but I think 20 years we've been taking these. Now I'm taking a new one that I really, really like that is made with a lot of integrity. But it really helps my teeth, my gums, my hair, my energy, my mood, my metabolism. It helps especially if you have joint problems or connective tissue problems, like if you develop any kind of like inflammation in any of your joints. I really, really highly recommend it. And you don't have to believe me. I'll give you the link for this. You go look at the reviews on this stuff. It's just incredible. But I've known about it for years. I've known it's been very important. It's a great way to get vitamin A because it's hard to get vitamin A in a natural form. Most of the forms of vitamin A we take in vitamins are not the natural forms. So they're more chemically made and they're not as good for you. And it is just a fantastic way to do it. I love all the supplements. It's called Ancestral Supplements. You can get them on Amazon. I'll give you the link below. But I developed like a tennis elbow from overworking on the computer. And it really, really bothered me. And I used this product and some of his other ancestral products, supplements. And oh my gosh, I was trying everything. I had to learn to use my left hand instead of my right hand because I had overworked just from working on the computer. And I had damaged it. I had done some stuff that I shouldn't have done. And it was really bothering me. And I was going to acupuncturist and everything else trying to fix it. And finally, I started taking more of this. I stopped using that arm with I think it was from using the mouse too much on my computer. And I took some more of those I upped my products of those, and boy, it got rid of it. It's fantastic, and I had tried everything, and I love these products. And you'll have to read the reviews; they're pretty incredible, and the people that sell them are incredible. I love it. So it's a whole food supplement. It gets nourishment to the whole body. It gives you a ton of vitamins, a ton of minerals. I love it. It's paleo friendly, ketogenic friendly. It's really it's a great supplement, and these are just supplements that I've used. Things that I've tried that have really worked for me. This is what I take every day. I don't really take vitamins from the store or any. I take liver. I take some minerals. Basically, I think I take one other thing. They're all whole food supplements, depending on if I feel like I'm lacking in something. But they have made all the difference, and my body loves them, and I can tell. I mean, you should see my nails, my hair, my skin. I think those are some of the reasons why those connective tissues stay healthy and why my nails grow. When I don't take it, my nails start to break off. And so I've taken them for years, and I've seen such a difference, especially anytime inflammation flares up. So I'm going to put all these links. I've given you a bunch of links. I just share them with you, what I do, the things that have really helped me, that have made such a difference for me. I would hope somebody would do that for me too. I mean, I'm always looking for ways to improve my health and to be healthy, but to feel good, because I have a lot to do. I'm busy. I do a lot. And so I love the energy, and these things give me energy. All the things I've talked about today, everything from the zinc to the kefir to the cultured foods that help your body stay in balance, all of them are reasons I do them, because I want to feel good and I want to have a lot of energy, because I have a lot of living still to do. So I'm going to put all that into the bottom. I wanted to let you know I have a class coming up July 13th, if anybody's interested. That's 2019, in case you're listening to this and maybe the date has gone by. But we're going to teach everybody how to make a jar of cultured vegetables. We're going to teach you about kefir, kombucha, water kefir, sourdough. We have such a good time. It's at the Green Dragon in Carlsbad, California. And we have a fabulous time. I do a lot of classes there because we get a very nice lunch. It's a very beautiful building. You're right there by the beach, not too far from the beach, a few miles. It's a wonderful time. I love spending time there with everybody, because it's a historical museum place that's very, very beautiful. And I hope you'll come. We have a blast at my class. I mean, it is oh my gosh, I bring so many samples, and I talk about so many things, and I help you get started. We bring cultures, and you get to take home a jar of cultured vegetables, and then you can use the brine to make more. It will give you the bump that you need to get going. I hope this will be the summer that you add cultured foods to your life. I love them. They have made all the difference for me, and I'm always looking for ways to help people be healthy, because I want to be healthy. And the more I help other people do that, the happier they are, and the more they spread that joy to other people. And the world's a better place because of it. So I'm trying to change your microbes. I'm trying to have your microbes be healthy, because the more good bacteria you have, you take it with you everywhere, and it infuses everybody around you in a very powerful way. So this is my way of spreading good bacteria everywhere. So thank you guys for listening once again. I hope to see you next Tuesday. If you want to subscribe, then it'll show up in your inbox, and you'll get a notification whenever I have a new podcast, which is every Tuesday. So I want to thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this has helped you, and I hope it'll help keep your gut in balance. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you next time.